Shalom. Let's start by giving all the praises, glory, and honor to YAHAWAH, BaHa YAHAWASHI, BaHa RAWCHAA. Double honors to the elder apostles and bishops of the great millstone that rule well. Peace, blessings, and salutations unto the hopeful elect tabernacle of David scattered abroad throughout the four corners of the earth. I just want to show how much of a liar and deceiver Dr. Brown is. You know, he likes to, use selective misinformation from, certain scholars, use confirmation bias to try to, in a roundabout way, in a very subtle way, push his white supremacist revisionist history. And it's all to try to denounce that we're the true Israelites. You're going to hear this man literally say that he got proof from certain scholars that the Egyptians, the ancient Egyptians, weren't black. They wasn't dark skinned. And then he's going to also go on to say some other lies as well. And, it goes to show you how, desperate they really are. We're not stupid. We do our research. We know our history. So the moment you come with some bullshit, we will be able to detect it. And this guy, he's very prideful. He's a very proud devil. He prides himself on, being this so-called doctor that knows all information. Like he's a human encyclopedia and like, come on, man. All right. The Lord made foolishness the wisdom of this world. It says, let a man become a fool that he may be wise. And I'm going to prove that you're a fool. All right, so let's. I'm going to play this real quick because he's responding to another Israelite that they've been having a back and forth. I think it's Dante Fortson, which I'm familiar with, dude. He has information, but he's also, he brings misinformation as well. He goes off on certain things, but he be bringing out some truth. When he's going against them Christians, he goes at it with Vocab, this guy, and etc. But I want to play this clip real quick so you can hear him. All right.
Colleges over it. And I'll quote one of the most prominent African-American scholars on blacks in antiquity who says the ancient Egyptians were not black. We'll get back to that. But the Moabites.
So why are you quoting this this one scholar when there's plenty of scholars, and not just black scholars that will tell you and show you, even with the evidence, the hieroglyphs, the relics on it, that the ancient Egyptians were so-called black people. How are you gonna make that statement when you have images like this that you can easily Google images? So the ancient Egyptians were not black, according to this African-American scholar. But yet you can easily pull up images like this. I mean, it's common knowledge that the people in that region were all a dark people. That hot region, that hot ass region, you definitely gonna have some melanin, some natural sunblock. All right. I mean, it's just like, come on, man. And it would have to also be specific with time period, because if you want to go to, the 3rd, 2nd, 1st century BC, well, you had Edomites that took over Egypt. Okay, during the Seleucid, you had the Seleucid and the Ptolemaic dynasties. The Ptolemies, they pretty much had Egypt. All right. So if you want to go with that time period, okay, yeah, you had Edomites that reigned in Egypt. All right, the Greeks, when everything became Hellenized, yeah, the Edomites, they took over. They started to become the pharaohs and etc. You know, then Rome came, then they were the Caesars, emperors, up until after Domitian. So, you know, if you want to claim that history, well, you know, be specific. That's so-called white history, Edomite history. And it also, the Bible tells you that when they became dominant in the earth, wickedness multiplied, evils multiplied in the earth. But, you know, you got to be specific, because other than that, you're spreading misinformation. We know that the ancient Egyptians, all right, around the time when Moses and Aaron was on the scene, they were dark people. They were a so-called black race. They were the sons of Ham. The Hamites were definitely dark people. So the Egyptians weren't black. Well, we're with the so-called Ethiopians. That's still in their land to this day. Cush. They're dark people. They're you know, what are you gonna say? Okay. So y'all can easily do this search, man. These devils love to lie. Let me get real quick. Psalms 144 and 11. And it says, rid me and deliver me from the hand of strange children, whose mouth speaketh vanity, and their right hand is a right hand of falsehood. You know, and they stand on their lies with pride. You go to the National Geographic and prove this. And these are heathens, by the way. This ain't even our people. But I just got to show how much of a liar and deceiver this guy, Dr. Brown, is. National Geographic, the Black Pharaohs, conquerors of ancient Egypt. All right. So you had different families of Egyptians, dark people. And then you had the Hyksos, also a dark people. Everybody on the earth was dark. All right. Because they all come from what? The dust of the ground. We come of Adam. You Edomites that don't have pigmentation, because that was part of your curse. Okay. You were born wasted away just like your father. So let's go back. Hold up.
Colleges over it. And I'll quote one of the most prominent African-American scholars on blacks in antiquity, who says the ancient Egyptians were not black. We'll get back to that. But the Moabites were not Hebrews. I just quote that to give you an example that Mr. Fortson is not a biblical scholar or a historian. All right, you just have to remember that. He can show you 1,000 sources, but 0 plus 0 plus 0 plus 0 equals 0. The sources have to be rightly understood. Ruth was not a Hebrew. The Moabites were not Hebrews.
They were not Israelites, but they were Hebrews. So you're lying again. And it's like the example with how they try to say that only small hats can use the term anti-Semitism. Any act of racism or anything that you say criticizing them is considered anti-Semitic. But But that's a made up term, because you can't be of the line of Shem and be anti-Semitic, because the correct way of saying Semitic is Shem, because you have to be a descendant of Shem in order to be Shemitic. But they then took that word and tweaked it and added that prefix and made it become something just about them only. You know, they're very good at crafting words and weaponizing it. And it, you know, that's just how they do. Psalms 52 and 2, it says, "Thy tongue deviseth mischiefs like a sharp razor working deceitfully. Thou lovest evil more than good, and lying rather than to speak righteous." Salah. "Thou lovest all devouring words, O thou deceitful tongue." And that's they all are like that. All right. Now the Moabites, they were Hebrews. All right, and their brothers, the Ammonites, they're also Hebrews, because they're descendants of Lot, in which Lot was a son of Haran, which was brother to Abraham, or Abram the Hebrew. So Abram, he was the only Hebrew, but he had two brothers, and they descend from who? Terah. Does Terah's line go back to Eber? Because that's where the word Hebrew comes from, Eber. Let's go to first. Matter of fact, let's go to Genesis 11. Let's go to Genesis 11. Go to the genealogy of the sons of Shem. So this is Genesis 11 and 10. It says, "These are the generations of Shem. Shem was 100 years old and begat Arphaxad 2 years after the flood. And Shem lived after he begat Arphaxad 500 years and begat sons and daughters. And Arphaxad lived 530 years and begat Salah. And Arphaxad lived after he begat Salah 403 years and begat sons and daughters. And Salah lived 30 years and begat Eber. And Salah lived after he begat Eber 403 years. So here go Eber. And he begat sons and daughters. And Eber lived 430 years and begat Peleg. And Eber lived after he begat Peleg 430 years and begat sons and daughters. Right? And Peleg lived 30 years and begat Reu. And Peleg lived after he begat Reu 209 years and begat sons and daughters. And Reu lived 230 years and begat Serug. And this is going into pretty much Abraham, Nahor, and Haran's grandfather, because he had Serug, which had who? Nahor. So matter of fact, Salakia, this is his great grandfather. All right, it says Serug 207 years and begat sons and daughters, and Serug lived 30 years and begat Nahor. And Serug lived after he begat Nahor 200 years and begat sons and daughters, and Nahor lived 920 years and begat Terah. And Nahor lived after he begat Terah 119 years and begat sons and daughters, and Terah lived 70 years and begat Abram, Nahor, and Haran. Okay. So Eber is generations before, but this is the same lineage, the same genealogy. All right, so you trace it down to Terah, and we now we had Abram, Nahor, and Haran, which were the sons of Terah. So Terah, he's a descendant of Eber. All right, which was begot by who? Salah, who came from Arphaxad, who came from Shem. So anybody of this line, not only are they Shemites, but they also, after Eber, are Hebrews. All right, so 27. Now these are the generations of Terah. Terah beget Abram, Nahor, and Haran begot Lot. And who did Lot have? He had Ammon and Moab. All right, after the judgment of Sodom and Gomorrah, when Lot, was delivered out of that town, the Lord rained fire and sulfur on it. They thought, the daughters thought that they were the only ones, so they got their father drunk and slept with them to try to bring forth children, and it was incestuous, of course. And he impregnated his daughters, drunk out of his mind, and they were pregnant with Moab and Ammon. So guess what? By descendant, they're Hebrews, because their father Lot, which was a son of Haran, which was a son of Terah, which was a son of Nahor, which was a son of Serug, which was a son of Reu, which was a son of Peleg, which was a son of Eber. All right. That's where Hebrew comes from. Ibar. All right. Eber, the name of the two patriarchs and 4 Israelites. Eber, Heber. Okay. So yeah, you would have to be, you're in Hebrew if you're a descendant of Eber. Okay. So that would mean also those who came out of Abraham as well. Anything that came out of their seeds, they were Hebrews. Or the Arameans were Hebrews. Okay. The Ishmaelites are Hebrews. The Moabites are Hebrews. Okay. The Midianites are Hebrews. So this guy, he's a lie. Now, of course, this is from the Hebrew Israelite perspective, because the Bible is for and to and about the Hebrew Israelites. So yeah, the chosen patriarch Abraham, he was known as Abram the Hebrew. Okay, and even the language of Hebrew was preserved through that same line. Even after the flood, he confounded all the other languages and still kept, the Hebrew predominantly, through us. But Moab and Ammon, they were Hebrews as well. They spoke the Canaanite language, which was Hebrew. So you're wrong on that, man. And, if he'll make statements like that, what else is he wrong about? We've done lessons on this guy before. And this proves that you can have all the knowledge in the world and still not be on a level. Because at the end of the day, it's about the spirit. Let me get 1 Corinthians 1. This is 1 Corinthians 1 and 20. It says, I start at 18. It says, for the preaching of the cross is to them that perish foolishness, but unto us which are saved is the power of the Most High. For it is written, I will destroy the wisdom of the wise and will bring to nothing the understanding of the prudent. Where is the wise? Where is the scribe? Where is the disputer of this world? Have not the Most High made foolish the wisdom of this world? Okay, and let me jump down real quick. Verse 26 says, for you see your calling, brethren, how that not many wise men after the flesh, not many mighty, not many noble are called. The Most High have chosen the foolish things of the world. We're considered foolish because, you know, we don't have these degrees from the theological seminaries. You know, we don't have doctors in front of our names. It doesn't mean anything because y'all stay getting confounded. Credentials and all, you still get confounded by men who you considered illiterate. It's like they thought they assumed, you know, Peter and them were illiterate. But those men were kicking nothing but facts. And they marveled at that. It says, and the Most High have chosen the weak things of the world to confound the things which are mighty. Let's go from there to Corinthians 3. This is 1 Corinthians 3 and verse 18. It says, let no man deceive himself. If any man among you seemeth to be wise in this world, let him become a fool that he may be wise. For the wisdom of this world is foolishness with the Most High, for it is written, he taketh the wise in their own craftiness. All right. And though we be rude in speech, yet not in knowledge. We know what we say. All right. And we do have a solid foundation of understanding in the scriptures and biblical history. All right. And it's all through the spirit and power of YAHAWASHI, man. You know, so this guy, you know, he's a lie and he's deceived. And you're going to go into captivity, by the way, because you're not an Israelite. So I only wanted to say that, you know, go into that real quick. I'm going to give all praise to YAHAWASHI. Shalom.